Hello and welcome to Movie Mandates. I'm Kelly,
And I'm Andrew.
and this is the show where my brother and I force each other to watch movies based on a specific monthly theme. And it is April, and it is Silent Movies Month. On our previous episode, we watched Brother's Pick, and that was The General. And we are concluding the month with my silent movie pick, Metropolis. But before we get to the discussion, since I chose this week's movie, it is only fair that Brother gets to challenge me in a segment we call Trivial Trivia.
All right. So, Metropolis is a movie Metropolis is a movie.
Yes,
Period.
we are in
Yes.
agreement.
We are spitting facts. All right. Metropolis, among other things, is well known for a robot. Um, Although the robot doesn't really feature in much of the total runtime, it gets human
No.
skin at some point. It's just played by an actor through most of the movie. But the look of the mechanical robot is something that has gone on to influence the look of robots in a lot of movies.
Yes.
Um, so for today's trivial trivia, I'm going to give you a quote from a famous movie robot, and you tell me the robot's name and what movie they're in.
I'm ready.
Okay. You have 15 seconds to comply.
That's RoboCop in RoboCop.
It's not RoboCop. It is the movie RoboCop, but that's not, and RoboCop's a cyborg, not a robot.
It's is it the square guy with the legs that go like that?
I don't know what you mean by the legs that go like this, but
No, it's these fingers. Look at these fingers, these two
uh-huh.
fingers. Don't look at my thumbs.
Right.
Does he have two legs and like a square top?
Yes.
What's the, I don't know what it's called.
The ED-209.
Oh, that would never have come out of my
Yeah,
brain.
it's the thing with the two giant guns on the side.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Drop the weapon. You have 15 seconds.
Yes. Okay. Yes. That's the cop before the cop. That's what they have currently. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I was gonna score this in a particular manner. I'm gonna have to reformat how this works. Hang on a second.
Uh-oh. You got the movie, but not the
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it this way. Let's see.
point five instead
There we
of
go.
one.
All right. Sir, the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
C3PO, Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Specifically?
The Empire Strikes Back.
Yes, very good. Hasta la vista, baby.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator.
Eh, Well, yeah, well, that's the actor who plays the character who,
Terminator, Terminator.
yeah,
He
do
was
you?
the T-1000.
No, that was Robert Patrick, the liquid metal thing.
T-1000 was him?
Yeah.
T-100.
No, I mean, he's the Cyberdyne Model 101, but he's
Oh.
actually a T800. But do
Oh.
you remember who John Connor in Terminator 2, who I should have asked specifically which Terminator movie, but Terminator 2. John Connor when they go visit their family friend Maurice, Louise, Miguel, I think, out in the desert, where they can get, guns and weapons and supplies and stuff like that. Do you remember how John Connor introduces the Terminator to Miguel? And this is
God. Is it his uncle?
yes, but Uncle who?
Oh my God. Sam.
It's close. It's Uncle Bob.
Uncle
This is Uncle
Bob.
Bob. He's like, Uncle Bob, huh? Okay. And Terminator says, Uncle Bob? All
Yeah.
right.
Uncle Bob. Okay.
Input.
Johnny Five
Mm-hmm.
in Short Circuit.
Yep. Which is, let's see. If I'm not mistaken, I think 86, so this would be like the 40th anniversary this year.
Oh
Been
my.
been a while. Um
Who does his voice? I do not know.
I don't know. I'm actually really curious. Let me look that up real quick. Uh it's not Howie Mandel, is it? I don't think it is. Let's see.
Hmm.
No, Tim Blaney.
Okay, that's not a name that would
Yeah,
spark.
joy. It does not spark joy. All right, next.
Yes.
Com Compliance.
Oh, that's Flight of the Navigator, and
Hmm.
that's Max.
Very good. The Trimaxion drone ship, otherwise known as Max. Yeah. Um, that was my Virgin alarm. It's programmed to go off before you do.
Dot Matrix in Spaceballs.
Yeah. All right. Bumblebee, stop lubricating the man.
Um, is that Megatron in? It's not. Which one is that in? There are so many. Is it in Bumblebee? No.
N no. Correct franchise, but not the right movie.
Is it in? How many are there? There's four, right?
There's more than that. I
Oh.
think there's five and two spin-offs. I think there's the first movie, four sequels, the Bumblebee movie, and then the Beast Wars movie, Rise of the Beasts, something. I didn't see it. I don't
Oh, I did not know that one. Um,
of the live
i-
action ones anyway.
is it Revenge of the Fallen?
No.
That's the only tagline I think I remember
Well,
off it. Is it the third
it
one?
no.
Oh, I'll just be guessing now.
What's the name of the franchise?
Transformers.
Yes, Transformers. It's close
Oh,
enough. But which robot says that? Which robot tells Bumblebee to stop lubricating the man?
Megatron.
No. Megatron's the
Oh.
bad guy.
Oh, that's what I meant. I didn't mean that. I meant Prime of Optimus Prime. Jesus.
Optimus Prime. There you go.
I'm like, why can't I think of his name? It's all
This
blank in
robot
here.
actually doesn't say anything, but
Okay.
it responds favorably to the command Klaatu Barada Nikto.
The day the Earth stood still.
Hmm.
Hmm. Bernard. No.
Bernard. Have you
It's
seen Day the Earth Stood Still?
yeah,
Either of
the
them? I know they
original.
remade it with Keanu Reeves
I've
in
only seen the original.
2008, 7, 8,
I
somewhere in
don't
there.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't seen that either. I've only seen the it was Claude Rains in the
Claude Rains. Yeah. Um, no.
if you remember, she runs up to the robot and she says its name, and then Klaatu Barada Nikto. If if that helps ring a bell.
Uh, ah, it was Michael Rainey, not Claude Rains, by the way.
Oh,
Um,
Michael Rainey.
yeah, I know, because the last names are terrible. Oh God, it's really pissing me off because I know it too.
Oh, Jesus. Michael Rainey was still the
I
day
know.
the earth stood still. Claude
Claude
Rains is the
Rains was the
invisible.
Invisible Man.
Ah, ah.
Thank you, Rocky
Thank you,
Horror.
Rocky Horror.
Richard O'Brien did
Yeah.
a solid. I'm gonna not. Let's move on. Don't tell me. I need this. I need this for.
You
I'm
can
not gonna.
probably see the scene where she walks up and it
Yes,
says its name, and then it takes her into the ship and
Claude Hopper. What the
Clodhopper, good old Clodhopper the robot.
heck?
All right, let's move on. Think on that for a second. All right. I am not a gun.
Ooh.
There's unfortunately a mechanical inflection that I can't completely imitate, but
Mm-hmm. 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 Um, I like that quote though.
mhm.
Hmm. Is this the Iron Giant?
Yes.
The Iron Giant?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Hogarth
Oh,
uh,
that's right.
just
Hogarth is
call
the kid though,
is the
isn't?
kid, but he calls him Giant. I don't think he ever calls him the Iron Giant, but yeah, it's the Iron Giant from the Iron Giant.
Yes. I'm like, I know this. I've heard it in
Okay. Here's the last one I have on my list. A Rosm always completes its task.
that is the wild robot.
Hmm.
And that's Roz 101.
Roz is good enough. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Uh,
What the heck is that? What is its name? It's not, it's gonna piss me off, but we might as well move on. What is its name?
Gort. Gort. Klaatu Verada Nikto.
All I remember is when I watched the movie and he said, like, I'm glad that he makes her say it back to him in the back of the car, but
Yeah,
like,
he's like, if anything happens to me, uh, tell Gort Klaatu Verada Nikto. Say that back to me. It's
yeah,
like, okay.
because
In fact,
there are
write
so
that
many,
down.
there are so many movies that they're like, here's the code. Do you remember that? And the person's like, yes. And I'd be like, I'd be dead. Like, I won't remember that past this conversation. I'm viewing you and I can't remember it, and you've ended the sentence. Like, I'm out.
Hmm.
Like, so,
So, depending on how we score your Transformers answer, I'd give you 8.5 or 9 out of 10 points.
hey, look
Well
at
done.
that. I love it. That's exciting. How many of those did you have to look up? Or did you remember most of those quotes?
Let's see.
Or did you just look up to like make
I
sure they were
did
correct?
the Rosm always completes its task. I had to look up to make sure I remembered it correctly.
Yeah,
C3POs, I had the when I wrote it down, I verified it and I had this I didn't remember exactly what the number was, 3720 to
sure,
1.
sure.
Um I got like two words in it incorrect. Not bad, but yeah, I did double check these to make sure I had the quotes actually
That
correct.
that's awesome.
Um
But for the most part, there you
uh
go.
Yeah, I actually I knew all of them off the top of my head. The only one I actually didn't fact check is as EDT09, the 15 seconds to comply. I mean, if somehow I'm remembering it wrong and he says 12 seconds and
Well,
never
the
actually
fact that
says
you said
15,
that, and I'm like, that's RoboCop.
yeah, yeah.
Um, what I have two things to say before we start talking.
Okay,
On what platform did you watch?
that was going to be my first question to you too,
Okay.
because I started on Tubi.
Okay. I finished on Tubi as well.
Ooh, you
Yeah,
had a very bad experience.
indeed I did.
Because if you watch the version of Metropolis on Tubi, you are going to be listening to about a
Mother,
30-second loop of the most obnoxious soft jazz thing that just loops throughout the entire movie, regardless of what's going on. It's
Fushi and
imagine,
I,
can you remember the theme from like The Odd Couple? Do 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 do
that's
do.
basically what it
Basically, what it
was.
is, yeah, it's like a 3-minute loop, and it loops over and over
The
throughout the
entire, it's a
entire
two
two and
hour
a half
movie.
hour movie.
And like, so here's the reason we didn't change
So
it.
I stopped and I checked out the version on Canopy, and it
Okay.
actually has the film score. So I can only imagine that
Oh my
Tubi
God.
somehow only got the rights to the film, but couldn't get the rights to the film score, which was probably recorded in the last 20, 30 years.
So
And so
that's what
they
I
just went
thought.
to and got some free music from somewhere and just looped it.
So that's what I was thinking as I was like, this because obviously in watching this film, and I'm going to get to my other
Sadly, I
point in a
watched it
second,
really late last night, so otherwise I would have texted you. I'd already got the message that you'd already watched it.
watched it, yeah.
Yeah,
But like, oh
so
my gosh,
I would
because
have warned
like
you if I knew. I'm sorry, I didn't know that was going to be
no,
the
and
case.
it's fine. I didn't even think to, I just was like, well, in it to win it. Like, because I thought in watching the movie, there was a lot of like scenes that were really beautifully restored, and there was a lot that wasn't. And I don't know
Yeah.
about you, and we'll get to this in a moment, but there was a missing scene that they actually had to
Yeah,
put in.
there's something the
The professor gets
Joe
knocked out.
the professor and
Yes.
Johan are in the lab doing things and they fight over something and it's like it's all just text. It's like, oh, they must have never found this scene or been able to reconstruct it.
Right. And
So,
so it's for reasons like
that happens.
that. And it, right. But it's for reasons like that that I thought to myself, there's so much of this film that's
Like
probably been
97,
lost.
98% of the movie looks really, really good though.
Yes.
But yeah,
But I just,
there's a bunch of just cuts in the film that are
yeah.
that look like a camel chewed on them.
Yeah. So I just figured that there was so much that had been lost that perhaps the original score was lost.
Oh
And
yeah,
so that's
yeah. Well,
why
I mean these silent films don't really have
an
original
original score,
scores,
true, because they have
but
that
yeah,
person
it
who's,
really wasn't until like the 80s, I think, and because I first saw this on Criterion several years ago. And I watched a lot of the supplemental footage, so a lot of this behind the scenes crap is just my memory. My memory is that most of this film, which is a German film,
yes.
most of this film just kind of didn't exist. Uh, when they first tried making this available to worldwide audiences was like maybe the 70s or the 80s.
Yes.
And at
Yeah.
that point, they only had like an hour and a half of the movie.
Hmm.
It wasn't until like the 80s until they started finding, um, reels of the film that thought that they had thought to been lost, and they reconstructed it over the next couple of decades to get it as close to what the original presentation would have been,
Right.
which is probably why they have that short scene where there's just a couple of title cards in a row describing a scene,
Yes,
um,
absolutely.
and also why some of the elements are just damaged beyond all repair, while most of the movie looks pretty damn good.
It does. I'm
Not
pretty,
as good as The General. That's one of the best. That's probably the best looking silent film I have ever seen. It
yeah,
looks almost too good. This one just looks really good. 98, 97% of the time.
right. Yeah.
Um,
Um, so before we get into discussion
yeah.
from it, because yeah, whew, um,
Yeah.
so when I texted you last week that I didn't watch the movie,
It's a
and
shame. This was on Criterion, I think, when I mandated it. I think it
uh,
just left Criterion like last week or something. I was like, I could have
bollocks.
sworn this was on Criterion. I mean,
Oh,
maybe I'm wrong,
bollocks.
but I'm like, oh crap. Do we have to rent it? I'm like, oh, it's on Tubi. Okay. And because Tubi, I have a television app for, so I
Hmm.
fired it up there and I'm like, I mean, even if the resolution is lower, it's a silent film I don't even think it's 4:3. I think it's 1:1. I think it's like perfectly square.
Oh, it tiny.
Um, but then I was listening to the score. I'm like,
Oh,
that's not right. It's the
no.
same loop just over
Yeah.
and over. I'm like, so I looked to see where else it was in their Canopy, which is the one that I get through my library,
Yeah.
and I have to go through like the web app on my television because there's no actual app for Canopy.
Oh, that's
There's no app for
right.
Criterion or Shutter either. If I want to watch on my TV, I have to go through the web. Um, and that has a actual produced score for the film, which was probably done in like the early 2000s or late 90s or something like that. If
Ugh.
again, if I'm remembering from like the Criterion behind the scenes crap, I think it was like commissioned in 2000 or something like that. Uh, yeah.
Like I started tuning out the music. I was like, "Oh
Oh
yeah,
God,
there's
it's awful.
it was terrible."
Yep.
Um so when I texted you, this was very funny. When I texted you last week and said,
Which is a shame because so much of the movie is so rhythmic.
"Yes.
It
Yes.
needs a
Yes.
score that because at the beginning of the movie with all the workers marching in line. It almost
Yes.
feels like this is going to, it feels like the Jets walking down an alley, in the beginning of West Side Story. It has that rhythm to it,
Yeah,
and a proper musical score will emphasize that kind of stuff.
it was actually
Like remember,
extremely
like when Maria's dangling off the cathedral bell at the end of the
with
movie.
well, and
The film
when
score has an actual bell ringing sound to kind of do that sound effect.
well,
When
I was thinking during the flood when like the heartbeat of the thud
the
on
that
like that has to
yeah.
be there, and
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
when the deadly sins wake up and he's playing the pipe, like
Hmm.
one would assume
Yep.
that that
They put
meant something
a flute or
like
something. Yeah,
yeah,
they
and
do. They
like
do.
and Fushi and I were saying that like throughout we're like especially like first off, I have a lot of things
Who
to say
screwed
about
the pooch on this
I
movie?
know like especially like
That
I mean
poor pooch.
I have a lot of issues with Madame Maria, but like the fact that she's doing this and like and her eyes are bigger than her forehead, and yet you're hearing for to mimic you da 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 da, and she's like and you're da
If she's
da
not
da
doing
da
this,
when
she
she's
kept
not
clutching her boob.
squeezing like actively squeezing the
Yeah,
boob and
she's not
not
just, oh, over my heart, oh, my heart. She's like literally cupping her left boob.
it's
She
not
does
the
that
heart
so
it's
often. I'm like, what?
it was the most I was like
Fritz, Fritz,
I'm
tell your
so
actor to stop cupping her
confused.
boob.
I'm like, I was just like every choice she made, and also
Every choice she makes is a choice.
is a choice.
Not one
And
I agree with,
I
maybe, but
wanna,
choice. It's
as
very memorable,
someone
though. The
who is
performance, very
very,
memorable performance.
oh my God, and as someone who is in the art of the tease, let me just tell you, never has someone been so undressed and so unsexy at the same time. And I mean, I I didn't know it could happen that way. I didn't know that you could be wearing pasties and a panel skirt and I might ask you to put more on. Just like, it's okay, just put a dress on. But like it was the funniest thing. And anyways, um yes, very strange, very strange. Well, okay, so I texted you, not gonna watch it. Let's postpone 4 days, 5 days,
Mhm.
whatever. After you texted me back, I was doing what I always do, watching cartoons. And a Family Guy was on television. It was just one of the random ones that was playing in the background of whatever. And at the very end of the episode that was on, while you and I had just finished our conversation, right? Gets to the end of the episode, and this was an episode in which Peter took a conservative viewpoint about statues being torn down in Quahog, which is where they live. And then they explained to him, meow meow meow, error of your ways. And so at the end of the episode, um, Peter's sitting there with his family on the couch, and they say something to the effect of, oh, we're really happy that you came around, and like we're really proud of you for understanding and having empathy and meow meow meow. And Peter says, there's a lot of movies that have done very well for themselves, showing the side from conservative to liberal. And then they listed movies, and they were like, Driving Miss Daisy and Green Book, and they listed another one, I just can't think of them. And so they were like listing these movies of like this conservative person who then meets some people, and it's all about empathy, and you're like, oh, maybe I should loosen up a bit. And then Peter says, he says, can you name me any movies, however, that go the other way and have a liberal that all of a sudden says, you know what, maybe those conservatives are right. And there's like silence, and they're all looking at each other, and Peter goes, any movie at all, even if it was a really bad movie, any movie at all. And from behind the couch, up pops a character from like earlier in the episode whatever. But he
Hmm.
just pops up and he goes, "What about Fritz Lang's Metropolis?" And then he goes back down, and I'm like, I'm watching this show, and I'm sure I've seen this episode before because I've seen all of them
Hmm.
before. But I, of course, don't remember this because it wasn't poignant at the moment.
Yeah.
But the fact that that was the one that was on, and I was like, oh shoot, I need to watch this movie right now. And then I watched the movie and I was like,
There's an
you're
argument
not
to be
wrong.
made.
You're you're kind of not wrong. And then I thought to myself, what was going on in the 20s that you and I picked two movies, one that was like, yay, capitalism, and the other one that was like, yay, Confederacy.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say because this is 1927, I
It
think.
is 1927. It is also
It's
Germany.
also German. So I mean,
So
in
eugenics is
America,
kind of coming on
we
up.
right. I mean, we had we're heading to the Depression. Um, we did like Germany, we just did get out of World War I, and we also had comparable reactions to that, economically at least. Um, Not the same, to be clear, but Germany was certainly in a different place than we are. But yeah, it's interesting. I think I'm trying to figure out what the actual thesis of this film is, and I'm honestly not sure. I think it's, I don't know that Fritz knows. I think it's just kind of muddled and weird. Like it seems to be kind of um pro-union, but only to a point. It's like, yeah, workers' rights, but really it's just make do with your lot in life. You know,
Yeah,
if you can work with your overlords, that's really cool. But if you can't, just do what you're told because
yeah,
you'll just mess everything up. You guys are absolutely worthless by yourselves. Oh, and women are the baseline of absolutely every damn problem.
yes.
Women are
Um,
just horrible, evil temptresses, and they make
Terrible.
everything worse. And uh, I think this movie has a pretty dim view on women in general, and I think it has just a very muddled view of workers, of like worker protections, worker rights, that the class difference between um, the workers and the executive class. Um, I feel like the film is like using the trappings of these ideas. It's exploring themes without understanding them or having anything of its own to say, other than kind of a, hey, let's hold hands and kumbaya. The heart has to connect the hands and the head.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of, like the whole story in the Tower of Babel. I'm like, that's not really that story, but
I know. I'm like, that, I don't think that's.
maybe Germany has kind of a different look on that particular story. I know it from the Genesis, but pretty sure it's in Genesis. Like if I remember it, it's probably very early because that book is
It's
boring as hell
it's in
and
Genesis.
very hard to read. Um,
Um, yeah, it is such an interesting because it any any read that you put on it does kind of get a little sour the more you try to like make it better, the kind of sound because it
Yeah,
is,
it just kind of falls apart no matter which way I look at
yeah.
it. That's why I think that Mr. Fritz did not have really a I think he may have just more been kind of a visual dude and just had
And
really cool ideas.
boy was it visual.
Oh yeah, it's visually
Gorgeous.
stunning. I love it. But narratively, it's disjointed, ponderous, nonsensical, way over long. Uh, it does not need to be 2.5 hours. There is not that much story there.
No,
Um,
no. And the best part of the story is so So little Junior, is like, I want to go see what the Worker City is all
Yeah.
about.
Breeder, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it's a silent film, so I have no idea how the names are actually pronounced because I can just read them. I don't know.
right, correct. And he goes down to the city and he's he's like, he just walks up to a worker and he's like, I'm gonna trade places with you. And that worker's like, awesome.
Stripping down now. Take the clothes.
Like,
It's fine.
I'm on it.
Gotcha.
You say no more. You take my place. I'll
Yep.
take yours. This is great. And then it follows that little dude who then goes up to the surface level or whatever you want to say.
Which is really lacks security. You'd think that people who live in the lower levels just wouldn't be able to get to the upper
Oh,
levels
there's definite lack of security because little Junior goes up and down
all the
constantly,
time. Well, I
all
mean,
the
it's
time.
like Maria when he's frolicking in the gardens of half-naked ladies.
Yeah,
Um, Maria comes up with all of the
all the
street urchin
kids.
ragamuffin kids. And it's like,
What were you
these
doing
are
there?
all your brothers. These are the people in the workers' class. And the movie seems to be kind of like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that I mean, I knew there were workers down there, but I didn't know that their children looked like this. But that doesn't really seem to appear Frieder's concern. It seems like it's
No.
pretty girl. I follow pretty
Well,
girl,
and that's
you
what's so
know?
interesting is like it starts you off
But the point
thinking,
was, how the hell did she get up there with like 30 children? Didn't someone go, no?
right, but like it's
Are
especially
they
later
just
when you
all too tired after 10-hour shifts to bother?
possibly, but like that's the thing is that it's like it sets you up at the beginning to think like when she's like, these are all of your brothers, it sets you up to think, oh, you're gonna be like, we're all one, kumbaya, like we should all,
No, no,
you
no.
know,
We're definitely different. We're
yeah,
definitely separate. We
yeah,
just need someone to bridge that gap.
yeah.
That
And that's
absolute gap between us. We are not the same. No, no, no.
and that's the thing that's so funny. But no, so I like that
And if
they
we can't
follow
bridge that gap, just bust your asses working because otherwise the city's gonna explode, fall apart, and you'll drown yourselves, and that's really on you.
and you'll kill your children accidentally.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I can't believe how many freaking children. They just kept coming and I'm like, where are all these kids coming from? Like, what is happening? And I literally like, okay,
Well, you see, when two
again,
people love each other very much.
the amount, so I said this when we watched The General,
Hmm.
and I say this now. There were times in this film that I also had a very audible response of like, that person is about to die because of just, safety regulations on movies back then were probably not.
Hmm.
But those elevators, not the ones that were the massive ones that the 30 people were in, but the ones that just kept going.
The like
This
escalator elevators that you just kind of step onto and make sure your foot isn't hanging over the edge so you chop off your toes on the way up. Yeah.
and he just like slipped into it. I was like, I jumped. Olivia went running. She was like, "Well, what's wrong?" I was like, obviously no one died because they wouldn't have been like showing that this movie would not have been, what it is that but like I can't take things like that. My heart can't take things like that. But that was scary as shit. But also watching a group of children that is like 10 children wide have to then all of a sudden single file
The
into
stairs.
a stairwell. I'm like, okay, so you're gonna do a big old crowd crush accidentally because y'all actually look like you're pushing real hard. So like,
I hope no one got trampled.
yeah, like that's literally, I'm like, guys, like, stop. Like it just, cause like it's a single file line up there and there's like 10 kids wide is this mob. But
Hmm.
like, I mean, there were just so many times that I just thought to myself, there's several injuries but I mean, there probably had to be I mean, much more on the
Well, I
general,
mean, any
much more on the
movie,
general, I'm sure. But like,
yeah.
I'm sure. I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah, I think Buster Keaton got his ass knocked out at some point.
I'm sure he's like, who am I? Um, you know,
I think
it's
someone caught fire at some point, or something got caught on fire, if I'm remembering right. But
it's very interesting because I loved. I know you didn't, but I really liked M. I don't remember
Mhm.
why we watched M. I remember we
I don't
talked
think we
about it.
watched it for this show.
We didn't. I
I
think
think you watched it and talked to me about it. I'm like, that's been on my list. I should watch it.
I think yeah,
I
or
think
if
we
I
talked about it during monthly movie mini reviews when we were.
yeah, we did. We talked about it. I just don't remember like what I know it wasn't for this. I just remember I was like,
Mhm.
we discussed it on something, but why were we discussing it?
Yeah.
But I remember I did like M. I did. I've always been intrigued about you know, trying to find humanity in bad guys. I don't know why. I hate bad guys. They're the worst. Um, but I find it interesting if you can do it. Um, so it's interesting to think about it. Like,
I
he
don't like
has,
bad guys. I like bad boys.
there you go, BOI. Um, uh, but it's interesting to think like, Mr. Fritz, granted, this is only two works of his, you know, considerable resume. But like that is an interesting
I
like he does
yeah,
he does have an interesting like power dynamic of what he deems reasonable. He's like, this child murderer. Let's give him a sympathetic backstory maybe, and let's sympathize with the child murderer and let's sympathize with the wealthy. There you go. Or let's make workers feel like they are really, really, really important to us. So they stay in the bowels, working 10-hour shifts, not being able at all to leave their post and pee.
I'm looking at his filmography now, and the only other movie I recognize is Fury from 1936, which I
I
don't
haven't seen
think I've
Fury
seen.
though.
Uh, I don't think I've seen it, but I
I
am
think I've seen
aware
it.
of the existence of that movie, and of course M. But
Hmm.
um, wait, he was a writer on the anime adaptation of Metropolis from 2001. He was still alive?
No, no,
Really?
no, 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 no,
Or
no.
are we just talking? Because that was Osamu Tezuka. Uh, what did Fritz
He
Lang
he.
actually do? Probably just a writer credit because of the original movie.
I'm like he be dead by then.
Was he? I mean, let's see. Fritz Lang. Yeah, he died in the 70s. He
I'm
wasn't
like
alive. He didn't work
he
on
would
that at
dead.
all.
I'm like nah nah.
All
Yeah,
right.
76. Um, but anyways, I yes, it was very funny because me being me and being very self-important because that is what as an American I have been taught to be. Um, I was watching this film last night.
Metropolis.
That's the
Hey, me
one.
too.
Yeah.
Sound balance was terrible. No matter how much I turned it up, I could not hear the dialogue over the music.
I know, and what was really weird is like every time they
Thank
were
God
like,
they
"Oh,
had built-in subtitles.
I know," but like you
Weird
would
that they had
think
to stop the movie cold to display them, but yeah.
I know, but like I couldn't read their lips. I was like, you would think that their lips, it was like, you would think that like I would be able to pick out some of that dialogue when the subtitles came. I was like,
Yeah.
nah, that's not what they were saying. That's not what they were saying at
No, it's like they were
all.
speaking a different
Like they
language.
were speaking German or something. The fact that it took me a few subtitle cards to be like, Kelly, they're speaking German, really made me upset. Because I was like, normally they are actually saying what's on the cards. Oh, they are saying
German,
what's
yeah,
on
German.
the cards. I am privileged. So yeah, I'm an idiot. But yes, and then I got over myself. But I I do think it was very long. And
Yeah,
I do And I do think that there were things
Just because
that
you found all the elements of the film didn't mean you needed to put them back in.
there you go, there you go. And I think it's I find it very what I didn't do is look at the actors and actresses and see how old they were because one of the things that I found
Oh,
how
they're
old they were
probably
when
all
they
dead now.
well yeah, how old they were when they made the film
Oh, okay.
because I always laugh at the diff how age has aged
Hmm.
and we were joking that little Ferder was probably like 19 when he looks like he was like 30.
40. I mean, he's probably in his 30s or something like that. But yeah, I mean, that's true. He's probably supposed to be like 18, 19,
Yes,
20 or something like it. He is an
exactly.
adult man. This
He's
is
a
a man pushing 40,
he's
probably.
a full ass adult and he's
Yeah.
probably supposed to be a child.
I mean, the
Like,
woman who plays Maria is probably 20,
oh well, yes,
um,
but that's of
but
course.
yeah, because woman, yes.
Because after the age of 25, a woman's value is complete. If she's like a car, you drive her off a lot, that value has decreased.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Wow. That's horrible. Um, you know who I always I something I find kind of fun about films from the 20s is even though motion pictures had been around for decades at this point, the film industry as an actual wide industry was still fairly new.
Right.
Um, and the way I interpreted a lot of the very early films that I see from like the very late teens and into the 20s is that they're still trying to figure out the difference between staging performances for a theater of people and for a movie camera. Because I can see a lot of elements of stage performance in
Mm,
the blocking and the
yeah.
acting, particular, and we talked about this, particularly the way people kiss on camera in like the 20s. It's
All
like
right,
they are
make your lips
playing to the
real
back
tight.
rows, right?
Real
And
tight. Now press your faces
there's
together.
constantly the the going in for the real sharp movements and the extreme kind of
Yeah.
dip and the posing and stuff, but also the way they do makeup, with with everyone's got eyeliner,
Oh,
real
yes.
deep eye makeup
Yes.
on and lipstick. And part of that is so that skin tones will read on film because of black and white. You need the contrast, otherwise it's just a washed out mess. But also, I think part of it is still that's just how they're used to making people up so that people far away can actually see what's going on. And that comes across in a lot of the exaggerated performances, but also that's part of we need to pantomime, we need to overplay and pantomime stuff because we don't have synchronized sound yet. We can't actually do recorded dialogue.
Yeah, it's a little column A, a little column
Yeah,
B.
yeah, yeah. It's seeing
Absolutely.
that mix and that transition to how acting and performances and blocking and also even the like character design from the costuming and hair and stuff like that. All of these characters have really distinct silhouettes,
Very
are
tropish.
incredibly readable just from the way they're dressed. And you could I guess walk far away from your TV and well, you could silhouette any of the characters and you'd be like, oh, that's what's that? What's the mad scientist's name? It's like Rotwang, right?
Rottweiler.
Like
Yeah, it was
Rotwang, I think it is. Like, he has he has the wild hair, you know,
the
the
long duster coat.
right,
Yeah.
right. You know which performance I really liked as an actual performance? The father, Johann or Johann, I'm not sure how
Yeah,
it's
Johann.
in German, but his heavy,
The Thin Man.
the thin man, yeah, that guy, dude, that was a really good performance. That was tense and creepy and scary. He was really good at that. He was threatening.
Yeah, he was
Like
threatening.
he wasn't just snidely whiplash kind of I'm playing a threatening villain, you should be scared. He was genuinely threatening. I'm like, this is a good performance. I really liked that guy.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
rest of them are just, I mean, they're playing to the bleachers with their performances, but I mean,
Yeah,
that's the kind of movie it is.
that is. And it's I was like at the beginning though, even it was interesting to like there's obviously absolutely no way to do this. But I was trying to think like sit myself in 1927 and like watch that movie with the flying all the flying machines and uh the different highways on all
Oh, the
the
actual exterior
skyscrapers and
shots.
yeah and
Yeah.
like I just in the just there's a big there's a grandiosity to this movie. I mean, for what it was, I mean, like it's for me, I'm like, oh, look at those Hollywood flats. But like, but like,
That's another thing is that a lot of the set design is very stagecraft,
yes,
like flats and stuff, especially
yes,
the clock on the wall. You can definitely feel it's like it's just some guy behind there manually turning the damn thing. Um,
yes.
yeah,
But
the numbers that are coming down, that's clearly a piece of paper that someone's hand cranking to go around. Yeah, it very, very stagecrafty set design in a lot of places. But yeah, those exterior shots, which are a lot of times a combination of miniatures. So it's like an optical composite of miniatures, actual physical, miniatures, matte painting, and also in some cases, uh, live action footage,
yeah,
maybe
okay.
rear projected or something, or just composited. Because there's one where there's like a bridge that people are walking across, and you can actually see people there. It's just a cutout of the picture, and the rest of it's like a matte painting, but there's also some live action stuff that are just miniatures, like the cars on the roadway are just a bunch of model cars that they're just kind of dragging around, which is so, but it really works, and it
Yeah,
does present, just as you said, this just really grand
yeah,
scale to the upper city. Uh,
yeah. And I
and
could
these
only imagine.
impossibly sized buildings, yeah, with planes and stuff flying among them as just regular commuter traffic, and yeah, oh, it's great.
I mean, that would have been really, I think, something to see. Like, I do imagine that, like, seeing that would really wow
Yeah,
an
and some
audience.
of the like the one thing I really like both thematically and just visually is the cross fading that they're doing between the actual physical machine and the kind of uh demonic face that they're literally feeding people into. It
Yeah,
changes from the actual teeth of the
that was
ears that are going
really,
to,
really well done.
but it's like a halfway crossfade between two completely different sets. And it's really well done. And
It
it's
is very
hard,
well
you're
done.
looking at it, it's like, what am I looking at here? And I'm like, this is they built two different sets, and they must have really planned to get those to line up to properly kind of crossfade them in the exact way to have reality bleeding into Frieder's hallucination. It's really well done.
Yeah, no, that was very well done. And I said the same thing. I was like, as it was, I was like, what is happening? What I was like, oh, it's turning back into the I was like, I mean, it really does screw with your perception in your head when you're
Mhm.
watching it. It really is it's a little screwy, but yeah. Um
I love the bit in the very beginning of the movie where they get like 40 guys into the freight elevator, and it's lowering through the city, and you're looking and the camera goes on the other side of the elevator and looks out past the dudes just kind of standing there like this out into the city, which is it's a composite of the foreground element with the people standing in the elevator, and then the background element, which is models or matte paintings or a combination of both. And what's funny is if you pay attention to the foreground, that foreground element is a drawing of the people in the
Yes,
elevator
yes,
standing like this.
yes.
And that's a great way to get a consistent matte line because you don't have to worry about anyone slightly moving. They just what it looks like is they just took like a still image of a frame from the movie and then just drew it and
Yeah,
used that as part of the optical composite because they knew people would be looking past that because they'd
past it.
already established the people standing there
Hmm.
in live action.
Yeah,
And
I
now we're
noticed that.
looking past that at the grand city, the grand underground city that's being revealed. And I imagine most people at the time, or even audiences today, are going to be looking past that to see what's the more interesting element. But
Yeah.
if you catch that, it's a really fun thing to notice. It's like, that's, I can see exactly why they did it that way. That does solve a lot of really difficult problems. Because
Hmm.
if you have this, because if it's live action, these people are just kind of shifting around the weight. That mat is not going to work at all
The same thing,
for a composite.
and
Just,
it that they used that same I don't know, for lack of a better word, trick, I guess,
mhm.
with the sins. Because when they first go over the sins and you're looking at them, you can tell that it's a drawing, but you can also tell that that's a
That was
person
a
though. Like
model
that
at some
was,
point.
yeah, at some point,
Something's
like,
going to move.
yeah, something's like, you're like, they're gonna
Yeah.
move, like, something's wonky. Like, this is a drawing, but there's something unsettling about it. So then when they actually come to life later, you're like, I feel vindicated.
Is it just me or the one later in the movie where they do come to life and Death is walking forward, swinging his scythe? Did he like stumble on one of the first swings, or was that just me?
No, I think there was some stumblage.
Yeah,
No, yeah, 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 yeah.
he probably cannot see shit through that mask
No,
and just kind of
not at
stumbled on
all.
one of the steps. And it's like, but film's
Not at
expensive.
all.
We've only got one shot at this, whatever.
I do by, in when you let's try it again. When you were talking about the automaton being kind of like the face of this movie, and she really is. Like, I mean,
She's on the posters, yeah.
yeah, like
Most of the
truly,
posters that I've
when
seen.
I think of this movie, or when I used to think of this movie, like, and I didn't know anything about it, I really thought it was going to be very, not that I thought that the story was going to be the day the Earth stood still at all, but I expected there to be a very large robot presence. Um, and there's really not, in fact.
Not
And
really, no.
no, and her entire
I mean,
the
the actual
entire
robot is there for maybe 3 scenes and moves in one of them
yeah,
as an actual robot in a robot costume.
right, correct. And the
But
other
it's a
times she's
pretty
just sitting
good
there.
costume.
It is a good
It's
costume.
unique looking. You can tell how the actor is wearing it, but
Yes. But it's
it's
different. It's
worn
unique, and it's, yeah.
very differently from any other robot costume I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it plays really, really well. And its face is definitely just creepy
Hmm.
because it's just so weird looking and it's just it's rocking the uncanny valley in a very effective way, I feel.
It is. It truly is. But it is a very, maybe I'm not a fast enough reader, but I feel like it is so unexplained. Like, my wife, Hell, is dead,
Yep.
but this weird scientist also loved her, and the
I'm not clear
and
what the relationship between these two. Was it just colleagues and they were in love with the same lady and he married him and that was that, or
I
he married?
guess, yeah, and he's like, you get to have her son, so I get to have a robot. And her tomb is in my house because that's interesting.
Uh-huh.
And oh, and your deepest, darkest catacombs under the city are like right underneath my house, also, just randomly.
Yeah. And does Maria happen to look like hell, or does she not? And he's just like anything with a pulse? or he just loses his mind. I'm
I don't, I
not
don't, I think
sure.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
I think, because that's another thing that, like, I think,
I think he
again,
falls and hit his head off camera, so maybe that's what it
I,
was.
I don't think that we needed it any longer.
No,
However,
yeah.
there were a lot of unexplained things. I think that some of the like extended scenes that were just like put in there superfluously could have been shorn up a bit, and we could have had some maybe Maria looked like hell, and that's why, he went all crazy and was like, I must have her, and then he
I mean,
flung her over his shoulder and ran up a roof.
yeah,
Good Lord.
I mean, there's letting a scene breathe, and then there's letting a scene breathe so long that it dies of natural causes, you know? And I think a lot of these scenes were kind of leaning towards the latter. I'm like, okay.
The father like falls to his knees at the
Oh, the
end, and he does this for like 5 minutes, and like
I,
there's resolutions that happen between other characters. There's like someone falls off a roof. There are things that happen, and he's just the whole, and I'm like, you
I
good?
mean, it's
You
like
good?
Fritz told him to do a particular emotion, and his interpretation was like, okay, how about this? He's like, that's perfect. He's like, do you want me to like do any variations on a theme here or mix it? No, just do that. For we've got actually 5 shots of me. No, just that. Okay.
I
Time
mean,
is money. Film.
right? I mean, it's
I don't care
insane.
about the blocking. I care about the visual effects.
Yeah, and like as long as you're here, we know where you are. Like you sit here and you're lit.
I mean, because I could do this, and then I could do this, and then I
No,
could do
we've
this.
see
No.
we've already lit you in this
Yeah, we'd have to
right here.
if you had a different pose, we'd have to relight you, and that's just kind of work, and don't really wanna.
But like I literally was like, is he gonna do any did he die? Did he
You
have a heart
okay?
attack? Did he like I was
He
like I thought
catatonic? Is
I
he
thought maybe.
stuck?
Oh man. But
It's
I
also
forgot to.
kind of weird that when they do the Maria and false Maria switch at the end of the movie and the robot gets burned at the stake, there's like no tension there because like it feels like you were supposed to think that that was the real Maria. It might be the real Maria. Like it
But
puts
like
you,
for a fact, because
but
she's like
you know for a fact, both
yeah.
because they show you and also because of the performance choices of the actor. I mean, to her credit, it is clear at a glance whether we're looking at Maria or false Maria.
This is true.
So,
This
you
is
know,
true. She makes it.
maybe we're not giving her performance enough credit.
You know what? Maybe she's onto something.
Haley Mills had to have 2 different haircuts to tell the two sisters apart in Parent Trap. But Brigitte Helm, no, pure performance.
Pure performance. All right, wait. I never finished my favorite part.
Oh shoot, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine from 40 minutes ago. It doesn't really matter now. But when he takes the place of the worker and the worker's like, see ya, and he goes up,
Yeah,
and then the worker finally, like, so you have this worker who's apparently never had anything. And what does he do? He goes to
sushi.
a whorehouse.
Oh, I would have went to a sushi bar, but maybe it was a combo.
He goes to get laid. And I think it's hilarious.
I mean, there's so many kids downstairs. I think most of you aren't having a problem in that area, but
I'm like, snaps to you, sir, that is like your number one, like
it's like, all
this
right,
is what
he
I will do.
traded places with me and he told me to go to this house and wait for him. Okay. Wait, what's in the pocket? Oh, wow, that's a
Cash.
lot of money. Oh, hey, look, an advertisement for some
Pretty
entertainment.
girls.
I think I've got some time.
Yeah. I mean, what a side quest.
And the
So
heavy
anyway.
is just kind of sitting on the side of the street, I guess, just hoping that he spots Frieder at some point.
Well, that's Frieder's driver, so I guess like he knew that he'd be
Oh, is
coming.
it?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought that was just some random taxi.
no, that's his
Okay, that
driver.
makes a lot more sense. He's like, okay, I mean, the dialogue doesn't say that my car is waiting up there, but yeah, okay, that does make a lot more sense.
So,
He's like, wait a
uh,
minute, that's not
yeah.
Frieder, that's someone wearing his clothes. Interesting.
Mm. All those Aryans
Oh,
look
and
alike.
what was it? Was it oh, what's the guy's name? Yosafat or what was
Who?
the dude's name? The Johan's assistant who he fires at the beginning of the movie,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
who
Yeah,
tries to
Yosef.
off himself
Yosefat.
in the
Yeah.
hallway with like the tiniest gun
Right?
I have ever seen. It's like this big. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if that thing's got enough power to push a bullet through your skull. You're gonna have to do like to be really gross. You'll have to go in the mouth or throat or
Yeah, you're just gonna get a headache.
because if you shoot yourself like in your skull is probably just gonna stop the bullet. It's gonna hurt like hell, but I don't think it's gonna punch through solid bone. That's too
Yeah,
small.
he's just gonna reject it and be like, "What are you trying to do?"
You're just gonna be like, ow! And then, oh, now I'm depressed and I have a head. Now I'm out of a job and I have a headache.
Yeah, it's a bad
Probably a
day.
concussion.
It's a bad day.
Yeah. I don't know how
Well,
this day could get any worse. Time to get in that very safe elevator.
like, and they only went in one direction. I'm like,
Well, didn't wasn't one side going up and one side was going down?
that's what I meant. But only like the one side only went down and the one side only went up. And I'm like, what happens when they
Like,
do they
is that the same thing? Is it like
does it
flipping up?
just flip
Like if
at the
you're reading a
top?
book and you're not paying attention, do you get dumped upside down?
That's what I'm
That or the
wondering.
author.
Does it flip at the top? Like, and what if, like, and there were people on there, like, not actually paying attention. Like, they're like chatting. And I'm like, first off, like, you better be like on it. You can't hesitate on that
Yeah,
thing.
I'd be
You,
like,
I would be like,
don't want to like chop off my toes or something.
but like, you gotta be
Oh,
like, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Here I am.
is this
Like,
floor seven? Is this floor seven? Yeah.
I would never go there. I'd be like, you're meeting me downstairs. I'm never entering this building. Anyways, um, so Metropolis.
Metropolis.
There you go. Don't watch it on Tubi.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Oh my gosh. But hey, you live, you learn, you listen to some bad music on repeat and start tuning it out. Whatever.
I'm
Thus
gonna make
ends,
this a very silent movie. Mute.
yeah, truly, there were times that I was like, might as well mute it, but like
I
it
had to
really
mute a silent movie.
almost, almost, almost.
Well, I
But
bet that'll make Mr. Fritz roll over in his grave. It's like, oh
honestly,
God,
that should be the
what have you done? I'm going
that's
to come back from the dead and haunt your ass, Tubi.
that should be the the mini review. You're like Metropolis, so bad I had to
Mute a
mute
silent
it.
movie. This
It got
silent movie ain't silent enough.
it got so annoying I had to mute it. Oh my gosh. All right, so anyways, thus ends Silent
The
Movie Month.
silent film you'll want to mute.
Ah, I like it. I like it. Oh my gosh. But movie mandates continues. It does in the next month, and that next month is May, and we are going with the theme single location films. So, brother, what movie are you mandating we watch?
It amazed me how many single location films I could think of that are just a single word.
Yes, that's I yes.
Because I
They
mean, like I'm just gonna throw out because there's just a lot of single location movies that have names like cave or
yeah.
cabin, you know, tree. What is
I
that
was
about?
just about to say tree.
It's
I don't
about
know
someone
one,
stuck
but
in a
like
tree the entire movie. It's like if someone's in a
they
deer blind and they can't get down.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Um, okay, so I had actually a bunch of things on my short list, but I decided to go with uh I think is an Alfred Hitchcock film, Rope.
Oh.
So this is a movie that I've never seen this one. So we are running into kind of my understanding is it's a single, or at least primarily a single location film. I've never seen it, so maybe I'm slightly wrong, but my understanding is it's about two guys who like murder someone in their living room and then hide the body and host a dinner party and try to get away with it, right? So it sounds kind of like Arsenic and Old Lace, only played straight.
That sounds amazing.
So yeah, I'm so Rope.
I'm excited to watch it. And if y'all think that that sounds exciting to watch as well, you can watch Rope somewhere. I don't know where yet because
I
I haven't looked. But hey,
look it
we've
up.
done the looking for you, so check out the description. You can see where it is currently streaming or where it is available to rent. Yay! Until then, you can watch Movie Mandates on the YouTubes or listen to it in podcast form on iTunes. But if you listen to it, you won't get to see my fingers make the shapes of the robot from the beginning.
You know,
They,
ED 209.
oh my God. And but if you
What's
enjoy,
it? Oh, ED 209 for RoboCop, of course.
it looks like this. This
Yeah.
one. This one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time we do charades, you'll know that this means RoboCop.
Yep. Everyone will be like,
Uh,
where the hell did you get that, brother? It's obvious.
you're like, does that not look like the legs of him? No? If you enjoy the show, and how could you not?
Especially in podcast form where we're making these little gestures that you can't see.
Exactly. Oh, and you want us to reach a wider audience. We want us they're like, I really want them to reach what? Do you think that people sit at home going, we just really want the Eisen siblings to reach a wider audience? Engagement is key
It
though.
validates my decision to listen to this shit.
Exactly. I'm sorry. It's late. It's late and I'm getting punch drunk. Yeah, so engagement is key. So if you are watching on the YouTubes, you can like and you can comment. And if you're listening on iTunes, you can rate and review, and we would appreciate it. So thank you. Yeah, so I'm Kelly. So with that, I'm Kelly. I am Kelly. I'll always be Kelly. I like being me. And I'm on where am I? Instagram at Pimento Olivia. Just the one O in the middle though.
And I'm Andrew. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Andrew Eisen.
And we hope you enjoyed this episode of Movie Mandate. I like Blue Sky. I think it just is a great name for a platform.
Yeah.
It's just really great. I like it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Andy hopes you enjoyed this episode too of Movie Mandates, and we will be back soon with another mandated movie. Bye.
Bye.